Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your girl Tabdi, and if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. And I'm doing this because I'm not sure which side it's on. I am very excited for this video because it is the introduction to my series A Wine with Me, and it is just basically a series where I'll be whining and complaining about anything and everything under the sun because sonke siyazi ukuthi impilo inzima, and there's always something to complain about.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
And what better way to do it than with a glass of wine, because she really is the girl that she thinks that she is. And I personally, self, ngiyamthanda.
Ngimthanda kakhulu futhi.
And I feel like I always drink the same 3, 4, 5 brands of wine. And what better way to open myself up and find my soulmate than to drink. And maybe I'll cultivate my taste buds and learn a bit about wine. I'm really excited to start this journey, and I hope that you have the most fun with me and you definitely join me for a drink as well. So to get the series started, I thought it would be a really good idea to just get a little bit of information on wine, and hopefully it will help us on this journey. And I will link some videos that I watched in the description box so that anything I missed out or anything that you might want to know further about, you can just do so by watching those videos. So let us begin. We all know that wine is basically the fermented juice of grapes. There are 3 different types of wine. There's table wine, which is, just your everyday wine. Okay, well, not really, because it also includes lama wine lawa abizayo. And then we have sparkling wine, which is not the same as champagne, not really. Anyway, let's not get into that. And then we have a fortified wine, which is basically wine that has added spirits. So they ferment the wine, or rather the grape juice, and after that whole process has been done, then there are 6,000 plus minus 6,000 different varieties of wines, and the varieties actually come from the different types of grapes. So you know how you have like Pink Lady apples and Granny Smith, Golden Delicious. So basically the same thing goes for grapes. There's your Cabernet Sauvignon grapes, Chardonnay grapes, and blah blah blah. And yeah, those are the ones that determine the different wines that we get in the supermarket. And of course you also get blends where they mix the wines together. Yeah, that's where, like I said, you get your Cabernet Sauvignon, your Merlot, Shiraz, Chardonnay, Chenin Blanc. And these different varieties are also determinant of where the grapes are grown. So in South Africa, you might find that there's a surplus of a certain kind of wine because that's the certain kind of grape that we have here. The price of wine, you're paying for where it comes from, the process that it's made by, because it's actually made slightly differently. We'll not get into that, but at the end of the day, expensive doesn't really mean that it's good. That's why it's good to just taste different kinds of wines and find your fave, because uzothi uphuza obanibani kanti uSaint Anna is the girl. it's okay. Nalo 50 randi, alright. Awudingi ukuthi spend a million. So the color of the wine basically comes from the skins. With red wines, they press the grapes and they leave the skins in there. So obviously the color will mix them together and you'll get that deep dark red. And with white wine, they press the grapes and immediately remove the skins, even though they obviously use white grapes for white wine, but that's just how they do it. And obviously with rosé, it is made from red grapes, but they leave it in the juice for just a little while and then they get it out so that you get that nice pink blushy color. You can also get that color from mixing red and whites, which is another way of making rosé. But yeah, those are basically the processes. And now the smells and the scents that you can get from wine. I'm not going to go into detail with this. Maybe with each and every bottle that I do, go through with each video, then I will, attempt to get something out of that. But for now, I will just tell you that these are the scents that you can get out of it, and then obviously you can go into detail as to what kind of scent you're getting. So it can be a fruit scent, you can get a mineral scent, vegetable, earth, flowers, and spices. It can also just come from a memory. You don't have to smell what everyone else is smelling. You don't have to be like a professional and use all the right words. It's just kind of like a guideline. And then the taste of the wine. So the dryness that you get from wine is called like tannins, or it comes from tannins, and basically it can be low, medium, or high in content. It dries out your mouth, then it obviously has a higher content of tannins, or it is really dry, and you will often get that from red wines than you would from white wines. When it comes to dryness, if it's really dry, then there's no detectable sweetness or sugar in the wine. If it's off dry, then there's some sweetness, but like not too much. And if it's a sweet wine, then it's probably a dessert wine. So what we think is a sweet wine like Saint Anna or like Adelpracht is actually more of an off-dry wine, I'm guessing. I don't actually know what a dessert wine looks like or tastes like, but I'm guessing that, because it's not too sweet, but it's sweeter than, a Chardonnay, for example. And then acidity. So if the wine makes you salivate, then it's got a high level of acidity. So obviously it can be low, medium, or high. And you get that mostly in white wines than you would in red wines. Yes. So yeah, that's another aspect in like the way that it tastes as well. And then when it comes to body, okay, I watched 2 videos, but ngisho nabantu bewayini bayagesa nje when it comes to body. Nababazi igama lalimnandi bathi okay, asithi body in terms of wine. Sesithi body ke nathi. So it can be light, medium, or full bodied, and it basically means like how it feels in your mouth. So like how thick it might feel. I want to make an example, but I've never thought about it, so I can't say, oh, I've had a wine that feels like it has a lot of body. Sesiyobona phambili. And the last thing that I want to speak about are glasses. So I think that most of you do know that there are actually different types of glasses that you drink wine with. but I'm going to focus on red wine glasses and white wine glasses. I'm not going to go into like champagne glasses or dessert wine glasses or whatever. When it comes to glasses, you have two types, like I've mentioned. You have a red wine glass and a white wine glass. And the way you would differentiate them, so if you were at like a wedding or a fancy event or like a restaurant that, has their table laid out and, the wine glasses are there already, if you asked for red wine, they would pour it in the bigger glass. These ones are pretty like standard shape. I won't say size, but maybe our size. Pretty standard shape though. A red wine glass will have a bigger like bowl. So this is the base, this is the stem, and this is the bowl of the glass. And the red wine glass will have a bigger bowl, will be rounder and have a larger opening, and that's so that the wine can get air into it, and the aromas can I don't know what that means, but you're gonna have to get it. But yeah, basically when the wine is sitting in the glass, it just needs to aerate so that when you're smelling it, you can actually smell everything. Whereas with the white wine glass, it will have a U-shaped bowl and it would be smaller so that it keeps the chilledness or the coldness of the wine, because as you know, you serve white wine chilled and red wine at room temperature. So that's why it's also a good idea to probably hold the glass at the stem when you're drinking white wine, so that your hands don't, warm up the wine if you're holding it like this. And also, I feel like it looks so nice when you just hang, ooh, hello. And then when it comes to pouring wine, you want to pour the wine up to about here, where the glass starts to kind of like round out, so that you are giving yourself space to swirl the wine. And especially with red wine, you're keeping some space for the wine to aerate, and you'll be able to smell the wine very well, and then bloop, have a nice little sip there. So yeah guys, that is it from me. I hope that little crash course in wine and glasses was helpful, and I really hope that you go on this journey with me and we learn a little bit about wine. And even if you don't care to learn anything, you can just complain with me, have a drink with me, have fun with me, because that's essentially what we're here to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and join me for my next video where we will actually have the visuals and we will be complaining about something. And let me know what you want me to whine about. Let me know if there's a particular bottle of wine that you want me to try out. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you in my next video.